All right, guys, moving on. And like I said, we kind of have to breeze through some of this stuff real quick. Ms. Marvel, aka Captain Marvel, aka Ms. Marvel, Captain Marvel. Ms. Marvel is, if this sounds confusing, it shouldn't be, but it sounds confusing. I understand, especially when you get into the Shazam versus Captain Marvel stuff. That's a whole other kettle of fish. So, Ms. Marvel is a Muslim American, and she is so enamored with Captain America and superheroes, and she's super hardcore fangirling out over these characters, right? Who live in the same world that she lives in. She has her own experiences, her own events, where she becomes a superhero herself. So now she's a superhero, but she's also a super hardcore fangirl of the people that she's fighting alongside of, right? I think we kind of got to see just a smidge of that with Coulson kind of fanboying out over Captain America a little bit. We got to see Ant-Man doing that over Captain America a little bit. So it's kind of fun, and I think we're really going to get a lot of that in the Ms. Marvel show where Iman Vellani has been cast in the titular role. We also got confirmation that she will be popping up in Captain Marvel 2, which... Perfect. I think this is absolutely perfect. Jackson, are you familiar with Ms. Marvel, with the character? Where do you think that these types of stories can go? And is this a smart move on Marvel's behalf to do something like this?
I'm not familiar with Miss Marvel. It looks like it's one that's more for the kind of young teen market, especially like teenage girls. I mean, I have nieces about the age that might be interested in this. I don't think Marvel is the kind of thing they're interested in as much. They have younger brothers who do like this stuff. So I think maybe they're trying to reach out to that market a bit more. So yeah, I guess so. I guess it's I guess it is wise decision to put something like this in and introduce maybe a newer audience and bring them get them more interested in the Marvel Cinematic Universe if she does appear in Captain Marvel
Right.
2.
Yeah, I think this is a really smart idea on Marvel's behalf because, you know, as we were talking about on the show yesterday with the Star Wars stuff and the Ahsoka Tano show, multiple other shows that they're doing, the Acolyte, I feel like, as well. Marvel is branching out instead of just telling like one type of story with one type of demographic. Your typical heterosexual white male superhero story. We're getting something completely different. With Ms. Marvel, and I think in storytelling, especially in this level of storytelling, and Marvel and Disney realize this hardcore that representation matters. There are so many other stories and so many other voices to be validated and to explore, as opposed to just that one idea of your white heterosexual male superhero person, right? So something like this on this level, I think, has great potential. Of course, like everybody always says, if they do it right. I'm more of the opinion if they don't do it wrong. Doing it right implies there's only one way to do it. Not doing it wrong implies that there's multiple ways to do something correctly. So that's kind of more of where I sit. Jackson, do you have a different take on this, or is where do you sit with that level of storytelling?
I don't really think I have a different take on it. I do get a little bit defensive when when they create a property that is being diverse for the sake of ticking boxes. When it comes across as being a little bit insincere, they just kind of want to appeal to this market to get their money, but it doesn't really feel like something that they genuinely believe in. And I'm not saying that happens all the time when you see diversity in this stuff, but sometimes it does. Sometimes feel like they're just trying to tick that box. I don't think that's the case with this, but yeah, I do get a little bit skeptical about that kind of thing.
Well, it becomes a very blurry line because there's no way to prove or to disprove anything on either side of the coin. It's one of those general feelings, and it's also one of those things that nobody, if it is going to be a cash grab, nobody's going to admit to anything like that. So it is a hard thing to prove or to disprove. I personally like to default on the idea of giving everyone the benefit of the doubt. That's just my character. That's my nature. So yeah, like I like to think that, this is for the people who don't have a voice. I remember about 10 years ago, I directed a show in Brooklyn with, Saturday Night Live. What's her name? Rachel Dratch. So I directed a show with Rachel Dratch. It was through the Afghan Women's Writers Association. It was so cool. It was really, really fun. And it was very meaningful. The Afghan Women's Writing Project is a group of women who actually smuggle stories out of Afghanistan from real women who have written either prose, poetry, short stories, long stories, or maybe even just journal entries. And for that culture, that society, for a woman to have that type of an opinion or to want her voice to be heard, depending on how her family feels about it, could be punishable by death. And so for them to smuggle these stories out of Afghanistan and host readings of these stories around the world, it was really empowering to see other actors and other performers put on this role, or maybe not put on the role, but to give these women a voice and to let their voices be heard. And I don't know, that always resonated with me a lot. It was a charity organization. We made zero money off of it. It was all, in fact, there were other places that were trying to make money off of what it was that we were doing, and we could not oblige because that's just how it was. But yeah, I have been more mindful of stuff like that. And I was very honored, very pleased to be part of it. So to see something like this be kind of a main story or a main focus within the MCU, I think has a lot of great potential. I'm very much looking forward to it. Question is for you guys, what are you looking forward to within Ms. Marvel and Captain Marvel 2? Jump on down to the comment section below and let me know those thoughts. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you like this video, click like. If you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share. Because that is exactly what Scrooge McDuck would want you to do. DuckTales, woo!